Alright guys, the Forsaken drama just got even worse, from the reasoning behind the removal of the Kevin skin to 007 and 7 being doxxed, and much more. Let's break it all down.
I'm in danger!
This is a very serious one. The actual 007 and 7 was apparently doxxed. A tweet surfaced saying the 007 family was doxxed, and the person behind it was allegedly someone called Danny, who was cancelled for being a GR***** mayor, is also a well-known voice actor for fandoms. Apparently, her shippers got annoyed at Loops Collective and ended up leaking everyone's faces. More evidence was found linking Danny to this, as they were sharing personal info and leaked images of 007 and 7's family. It's really sad to see people who weren't even involved get exposed like this. Because of this, some of the fanbase now feels guilty about liking characters based on real people, since they believe the fanbase itself was part of the reason the dox happened. Some are saying it feels weird to draw them now, as the line between the characters and the real people is getting thinner. But separating the characters from the real people is the healthier choice to avoid bringing unnecessary hate onto them. This situation has also caused some to leave the Forsaken community entirely, as it's becoming more toxic, and situations like this only make it worse.
The other owner behind Forsaken.
So the RDC 2025 event just happened with a lot of awards given out to Roblox games. Forsaken was nominated for 5 categories and won 1 Best Survival Game. We even got Hitoko and Basil giving a speech for winning the award. Hitoko also made an announcement about the win, saying they were proud of the developers, contributors, and the lovely community. I can't lie, saying that about the community is very ironic given the amount of hate they get on a regular basis. But then again, this is only one side of the community. Of course, there was some drama about it being too corporate, but that's because they were at a huge event, and reading off a script makes it easier to avoid mistakes. Forsaken was also nominated for the Builderman Award, but lost to Grow a Garden. A lot of people were saying this was rigged, claiming the awards just go to whichever game has the highest concurrent player base. Others argued that Forsaken didn't make Roblox enough money, so it didn't get the award. On Twitter, there were tons of Ragabiters and haters commenting that Forsaken shouldn't have won due to past issues, or just dropping random takes about how it wasn't deserved. Some even claim Forsaken isn't a survival game, when the game is literally about surviving against the killer. So the Kevin skin was based on Nine Wolf's Don't Touch My Pizza video, with Kevin starring in it. But recently, a thread surfaced on Twitter showing Nine Wolf retweeting some feral content and fart things on a private account. Screenshots revealed someone messaging Nine Wolf's alt account, telling him he shouldn't be retweeting or replying to that kind of content since it was feral. He replied saying he was high at the time and wasn't paying attention to what he was reposting. Once confronted by this anonymous user, Nine Wolf deleted the account. The likes don't directly trace back to Nine Wolf, but they still looked suspicious. It was later confirmed that Lycan Slasher was Nine Wolf's alt account, since it had the exact same art style and other content that was on his Instagram page. Shirag also got evidence from someone who gathered all the relevant information, which was then submitted to the Forsaken devs. As a result, the Kevin skin was removed in the Slasher update and will likely not return anytime soon. But before this goes out of hand, Nine Wolf is not a P word. This decision was made to ensure no feral content gets associated with Forsaken. Nine Wolf even made a community post addressing the situation. TLDR, Nine says the hate against them is built on false rumors and bias, not truth. They explained they've only focused on art and positivity, and despite the harassment, they still choose to respond with love. However, the thread still sparked major backlash, with some saying the content he liked was weird, while others claimed the zoophilia accusations were serious since that is a crime. On the other hand, many dismissed the drama as a nothing burger, arguing he basically did nothing wrong and was just gunning to fake Pokemon drawings. So who do you think is in the wrong here? As of now, Forsaken has a bunch of balancing issues, which players have especially called out. One came from YouTuber Sharkalio, who mentioned to time finally getting nerfed but also argued that 007 Steven deserves real buffs to make him a decent survivalist. Meanwhile, buffing Kogui for the 1100th time isn't going to make him good. Even though to time got nerfed, there are still issues. Sharky talked about the trick stabbing technique, saying it's sort of been solved, but it's still a problem. Other people have pointed out how team combos are ruining the killer experience, with killers getting completely screwed over by stacks of TAF trip mines and TAF stacking in general, which basically makes killer unplayable. To time also shouldn't get so much charge for his second life. More about supports being nerfed. They shouldn't be allowed to stack. For example, two Elliots can constantly heal each other, and a whole team of them can keep most survivors alive, which makes it quite unfair for the killer. One issue I agree with is the really annoying problem of lag. It affects you as a killer, but also affects survivors trying to juke, basically punishing people who have good ping. Fans also feel Slasher wasn't properly buffed or changed. His kit is poorly balanced, and players want him to be more viable since every other killer has an aerial moveset. There are many other criticisms of the balance changes. Which ones do you agree or disagree with? Another hot take going around is about Old Forsaken. People saying fans are blinded by nostalgia because the game was actually an unbalanced mess. One user said they didn't even like the Meet You're Making Ost and that the new Ost is better, less boring, and more upbeat. Others agreed the old game was unbalanced and that people claiming it was good look like this baby reaction. Most people did agree with the take, but admitted they liked the old LMS tracks. Still, the new Ost is definitely better. Meanwhile, Old Forsaken fanboys were called annoying since they don't even like the current game. Another user commented that they liked the Ost, but many said Meet You're Making was mostly generic. Honestly, it's kind of like old Fortnite. Back then, everyone was trash at the game, but now people know how to play better, so the game feels sweatier with more tryhards. And this is why there's an archived version of this, to satisfy both fans of Forsaken and those who never got to play it. Another big issue was the scrapping of the Jinro skin, because the creator, Orini, who also made the PR3 Tyverse skins, faced heavy backlash from the community. The stress and harassment pushed her to distance herself from Forsaken, which ultimately led to the skin being cut. Animations for Jinro were already completed by Coconut, including idle stances, hair physics, sneaky walk cycles, and SFX such as swing, corrupt energy, digital footprint, for 100 for error, execution, and stun reactions. With this once again, there has led to backlash from the community for scrapping Jinro. Some players argued that more love went into Jinro than Living Legend, and that it would have been the first skin with clothes and hair physics. Others complain Forsaken has a scrapping problem where good skins get cut. Many feel Living Legend wasn't worth it compared to what Jinro could have been. Do you think scrapping this skin was the right move? So these situations keep getting worse. What do you think about them? Subscribe and hit the bell for more Forsakening it.